I had a conversation with somebody earlier today who's in the political space, and we were talking about how do you take the temperature down while also juggling this push-pull of wanting to win elections. The kinds of messaging, the kinds of speechifying, the kinds of things that are said that can tilt towards inspiring somebody to do something really twisted can sometimes be a thin line away from also inspiring people to be passionate, be excited, register to vote, cast a ballot. For people who are in professional politics, how do you straddle that line in a healthy way?
Well, so sort of go philosophical first and then kind of get onto the practical. I think there's a reason why the First Amendment is the First Amendment, right? The freedom of speech, which was rooted in the French philosopher Voltaire, saying that I might not defend, basically I don't have to agree with what you say, but I'll defend to the death your right to say it, is really, really important. I think that you can start this conversation, and with my clients I generally do start this conversation with understanding that everyone wants the same things, right? They want to be safe, they want to do well, they want their children to do better than they did, right? And so with that, then how we approach our opponents really is really fueled by that. You know,
but there is, I mean, there's that tension.
I think the general thing is that you can't be willing to win at all costs. And one of the things that I really loved about Senator John McCain in that race in 2012 against Obama, when they were doing all these kinds of really nasty ads against him, and he said, you know what, he's a fine man and I'm not going to participate in that. That was a real big moment. Or when we saw former President Bush and former President Clinton get together on aid relief and things like that, they're saying, listen, you know what, there have to be some lines that the consultants are willing to go across that, where the candidates are saying, yeah, you know what, I'm not going to do that.
Realistically, some people will look at that and say, McCain lost, right, Stephen?
Well, I mean, that's Fred's example. What I would say is that I think at the end of the day, because we have become so polarized, I think people increasingly politically see through the name calling and the negative ads. At the end of the day, sure, can you get a sugar high as a candidate from that? Yeah, absolutely. But campaigns are won on candidates and ideas.